Welcome, people, to another live additive, no spirit juice, no additive. uh, I'm just trying out new stuff on here, and you guys are going to be the first to see what's going on here. But hey, look, this live is about like, share, and subscribe. By the way, like, share, and subscribe. We got 60 new um, um subscribers within the last 3 days. Go figure. Very happy to have them on here. Welcome, 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 welcome. Um, let's talk about Tim Norman today. Like, share, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you can be abreast of all our latest pros. Um, Tim Norman, um, my goodness, he is still speaking about this situation with his being found guilty for killing his nephew. He's saying that he didn't do it, and it's a lot of evidence that we didn't have privy to, or the jury didn't have privy to, because the judge ruled it out. He said that number one, that we didn't hear that he had nothing to do with the insurance policy. If he didn't, who did? He was the only one that was in communication with this guy, this insurance guy. Nobody else but him could have did these insurance policy. This is Tim again trying not to own up to his responsibility in this whole situation. It doesn't make sense that he would keep bringing this up and not letting it just die down and him go and do his time. This is the narcissist in him, that he wants to manipulate everything and control what it is that we believe. And this is not going to work. Okay, of course it's not, because he's behind bars. He's been found guilty. So the end of story. And he's just saying that he didn't do it. And I guess he didn't do the armed robbery that he did 10 years for in the beginning. And it's sad that Miss Robbie looks so ridiculously ignorant to the fact that her son is this person that he is projecting himself to be, which is a killer that wants his own way. And she knows in her deepest gut that her son did this. I don't think she cared, because she thinks Andre stole from her. So she thinking that, he's getting his just dessert. He's being blamed for something, that I think he didn't do. I mean, why would he steal some money from his grandmom, the only one that was helping him? Tim did that. Tim is the one who was the robber, the armed robber. He is the one that committed murder. And Miss Robbie it's what my mom taught me, to when somebody is wrong, they're wrong. Don't stand up for a person when they're in the wrong. Okay? Because you look stupid. My goodness. They don't need no help looking stupid. So you know what? If people are wrong, just let them be wrong. My goodness, call them out on it. Her son is wrong. And you know what? Having him in jail and convicted of all of this, and then she's still standing up for him, it's two different crazy things. I mean, my goodness, it makes her look weak as a woman. Call it what it is. And people say, well, that's her son. You know what? Sons do bad things. And we're going to hold them up and they're wrong? They never going to do the right thing. So no, Tim is wrong. He's been found guilty. He needs to go somewhere and sit them hips down and go on and do his time and leave this situation alone and leave us alone, because we're through with it. Okay, as far as we're concerned, he has been found guilty. And that's enough time spent on that. Now, what about the situation with, I posted a post a video on Wendy Williams, and I said that, she was the one who did this guardianship. A guardianship, ladies and gentlemen, don't happen in a vacuum. There has to be someone that initiates it. It has not been said in all of the videos and documentation that I've read who initiated this guardianship. The bank just don't decide out of the blue that there needs to be a guardianship. Something has to manifest. Someone has to initiate this guardianship. And it was Wendy. Wendy did this because she knew the power that her bully had over her. And people say, well, where do you get your information? And the son, shouldn't be brought up, and he should enjoy the fruits of his mom's labor and all of this kind of stuff. That's creating another Kevin. Okay. The son is grown. Wendy knows he's grown. It's not like he's in a position where he won't have any help. Wendy gets a stipend every month. She can add to whatever it is that the government give him for his education. He can live a very comfortable life with just what Wendy gives him, okay, out of her stipend. Her bills are getting paid every month. She's living the lifestyle that she was accustomed to. It's just that other people has been cut off so that she can protect her bag. And the son just happened to be a casualty. Not saying that he cannot go to school and he can't, make this work for himself. He needs to learn how to be independent, to be living in a luxury apartment that he is not paying for, his mama's paying for, in opposed to getting him something that he can pay for through his financial aid, through him working a job, through him recreating himself. At what point do you cut your kids off, people? I mean, my goodness. Oh, at least let him get through college and then cut him off. No, through college, that's more time for him to be dependent on his mom's resources. No, they have money for college. Okay. He can get him a nice apartment off campus and have money in his pocket to enjoy going to school and doing the things that other kids are doing. Have a nice car, all of that. He don't need this luxury. It doesn't make sense. He has to recreate himself. So if he's just a casualty in this war, okay, he just is. I mean, he don't have to drop out of school because he can't live in a $1 million apartment. Come on now. That's ridiculous. But it just seems like what's wrong is right in this society, and what's right is wrong in this society. Raising him to be just like his dad, even more so, even worse, because Kevin grew up with nothing. This kid is growing up with everything. She won't have anything if it wasn't for this guardianship. She wouldn't have anything because Kevin would run through it all. He would take all of it. He ran through that little $1 million+ in the alimony, and he just broke now. Could you imagine if he had access to all of Wendy's money? My goodness, enough is enough. Go somewhere and sit down. I don't care what nobody say. Miss Wendy initiated this guardianship. Okay. She did so she could protect her bag in the long run. She's getting her bills paid. She was just out over the weekend looking fabulous, smiling. She needed help walking, which is all about addiction, all about alcohol. She is drunk as a skunk and high on cocaine. I know the look. Okay. So, yes, it's good that she don't have her money because you know what? Just to get him out of her face, she probably be giving them all her money. Yeah. But anywho, I feel like with both Tim and there's another case in the news with Murdoch, this guy who killed his wife and his son for money. And he also had his housekeeper. She fell down some stairs and he took all the money from the lawsuit, you know, that her kids had initiated. He took all the money. He was stealing from his clients. My goodness, this is so indicative. These three stories run hand in hand of greed and evil and the money that money creates. I mean, my goodness. Um, Eric Murdoch, he killed his wife and his child for the insurance money that he didn't get around to because people ain't stupid. You lied and say you wasn't there. Now you all of a sudden is there, and now you claiming okay, the truth is now being told. No, it's just ridiculous. And then it's just like Tim Norman, he kills his nephew for money. And then you know what? I don't put it past Kevin. You know, Kevin is doing any and everything for the sake of money because he's not getting his own way. He is upset. Okay, he is running around like a squirrel trying to get a nut, and he's taking her back to court. Back to court, he's taking her for her money so he could take care of his family. This should not even be an issue at this point. He took her money to take care of a child and a woman out of wedlock, you know, while he's married. And he's still persisting that he's owed some money. Too bad, Kevin. Go somewhere and sit down. Okay? Go somewhere and sit down. Okay? And Wendy is not exempt from the shame of it all. She created the Kevin. Okay? She needed Kevin to protect her mouth from the public. Okay. And now the bully that she created to help her bully other folks has turned against her. It's like a mean dog, you know. It's just crazy. This vicious circle, people, you know, I'm not saying that Kevin is a hero by any means. People were saying in the comments that I said that he's a hero and that the son don't deserve anything. He doesn't deserve whatever Wendy deemed necessary for him to have because now he's grown. Now he got to get out and do it his own. Okay? That's how my son is. That's how I treat him. And that's how every teenager or young adult should be treated. You have to amass your own success. Just like God blessed Wendy, he would bless her, her son as well. I mean, she get a stipend every month. She can help him out. This situation is just boring at this point. I'm gonna stop reporting on it unless something else fall out the woodworks with this next case that Kevin got going on. It's just ridiculous. I don't even know what else to say about it. You know, people are saying that I'm defending Kevin. Well, Kevin did serve his role. He did have a role to play in all of this, and Wendy let him play that role. But she seen fit once he, you know, she divorced him, and she said herself, once I divorced him, I had to fire him because he was, you know, my manager. You know, I had to fire him. And the way that he did things as my husband manager, he couldn't do just as my manager because I'm not married to him anymore and he has a new family. So it's not going towards our betterment. It's going towards the betterment of him and his new girlfriend and their child. And who's going to do that? Okay, who cares about that? Nobody. So yeah, it's just time for us to just put the blame where it's at and stop standing up for people that's in there wrong. You know, that's just wrong anyway. Tim Norman, Eric Murdoch, and Wendy Williams and Kevin Hunter, all of them just wrong. And it's just playing out on in front of us, you know. And this would be a lesson in opposed to a motivation, you know, that we should learn that, you know, money is not everything. And there's certain things that you can't do for money and maintain in this world. You can't just go around killing folks and having babies on them and using their money just so you can get a better quality of life. No, Kevin wanted the cake and eat it too. He forgot he was married. And you know what? They had got to a point in their marriage where they was just partners. They was not married couple. They were just partners in this relationship. Wendy says she knew about the affair ever since it started. She knew about it. The only thing, her one objection would be to bring a baby into the situation. So if she was complicit in the affair, then I know she's complicit in the cover up of who initiated this guardianship. A guardianship, people, do not happen in a vacuum. It doesn't. Somebody have to initiate it. That's been kept secret because it's Wendy initiated the guardianship. Somebody has to be so concerned that this person is so vulnerable that any materialistic, monetary thing that they have is vulnerable to be taken. You just can't a bank just can't just up and just initiate a guardianship. Someone had to initiate it. Someone close to Wendy had to initiate this guardianship so that the money, the bag, can be protected. And it's Wendy. Wendy did that. She ain't fighting for her money. You don't see no court cases being initiated. Just like Britney Spears. Britney Spears' father initiated a conservatorship for Britney Spears. Okay? He said that she was vulnerable. She was losing her mind. She was unstable. Same deal with Whitney. Somebody had to make those same allegations to a court of law and win a guardianship for Wendy. And it's all for Wendy's sake. Wendy's still living a good life. Okay. She's still living in a high-rise apartment. She still got things. She still got her bills being paid. The only ones that not getting paid is those associated with full-grown adults, like her son and her husband. Y'all talking about this kid like he's a minor. He's not a minor. He's an adult that is capable of taking himself. Now, if he wants to go to college, that's on him. Parents want their kids to go to college, but a kid needs to go to college in order for him to reach a higher level of wages and income in this world. Okay? What you do after high school and after you turn 18 is on you as an adult. Okay, he don't need to live in no luxury apartment, $1 million that he is not affording. What message do that send? The same message that his father, thinks he has, or entitled to. This kid got to get out and make it on his own. It's not like she ain't gonna help him out with a car and help him out with the little stipend she getting every month. It ain't like he ain't gonna help him with that. He'll be more well-adjusted financially than any other kid on the campus. It's just that he ain't got access to the $13 million that's being held back for Wendy. Okay? Kevin ran through his money in less than a year. The one little $1.2 million that he got from the divorce decree from the severance package. He done ran through that. Now, could you imagine if they didn't have a guardianship in place? He would have been ran through Wendy's money. No, Wendy cannot do her show on her own. She needed someone like Kevin to kick that door in and snatch that pipe and that alcohol out of her hand so she can get up the next morning and make that money. But now Kevin is out of the picture. We see what happened. She could barely walk. And everybody's like, oh, she got a medical condition. Yes, she got a medical condition. And it all stems from drinking. We don't know her medical history. We're not privy to that information. All we know is what she tells us, Lyme disease and this and that and this. A lifetime of use wears on the body. A lifetime of addiction and drug abuse wears on the body. Okay? Wendy is suffering from what she created. And she don't have the benefit of the bully, Kevin, anymore. She's trying to get away from him, but he like a dog with a bone, ain't trying to leave her alone. You trying to get more out of the situation. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ain't nobody saying that he right, but he did hold her up and allow her to make as much money as she did because this show would have went down the tubes a long time ago had it not been for Kevin. Now, I'm going to give Kevin his due, okay? Because I know an addict. Anybody that says that's not true is somebody that don't realize the impact, the power of addiction. They don't realize. This is all textbook behavior. Textbook behavior. So I did want to come here and address some of the comments that were being left down, like, how do you know, Wendy? How to this and that and this and that. I study behavior. Okay. That's what I went to school for. And if it looked like a duck and quacked like a duck, it is a duck. And it is Wendy. Wendy, the one who created the guardianship. Yes, that is true. And I beg to differ. We ain't heard nobody else come forward and said, hey, we know that Britney Spears' father, the one who initiated that conservatorship, that guardianship, who created a Wendys. We're not gonna be privy to that information because it was Wendy. That's a part of her plot to keep her money from the bully. After she seen that woman in her car that was bought by her money, that house that was bought by her money, she was like, no more. No more. And in my vulnerable state, my medical condition, my addiction, I'm not letting him run through my money. I'm not going to come and rise again with nothing because this man done took it all. He done took enough. So with that, I am going to say goodbye. But I did want to touch on these other little situations with Tim Norman. He's still barking from behind the cage, talking about he didn't do it. It's too late, Tim. Go somewhere and sit down. You've been found out. And then Eric Murdoch, the white lawyer who killed his housekeeper and took the money from her kids, and then he killed his own wife and son for money. Just sounds just like the Tim Norman case. He looking stupid and trying to cry, and then he gonna confess and say he was at the scene of the crime after he done said and lied over and over again he wasn't at the scene of the crime. If people don't know what I'm talking about the Eric Murdoch case, where this lawyer killed his son and his wife, and then he killed also killed the housekeeper. He killed the housekeeper in an accident. What's supposed to have been an accident. She fell down the stairs. They sued for I want to say $4 million. He ended up taking all of that. He took all that money and took it from the kids. The kids didn't see a dime. And he the one who went up to them and say, hey, she fell on my property. Why don't you guys sue me? I got a lawyer that you can guys use. And, I'm willing to help you guys out and get paid in this situation. Then he took the money. Then, lo and behold, his wife and his son get killed. Okay. He just got overtaken by the lures of money, just like Tim did. Okay. Just like Kevin Hunter is. I mean, I don't put it behind anybody when it comes to money. I don't put it behind anybody. I think people will go to extreme lengths to get what they want and live the quality of life, especially in this day and time that we're living in. We are running at the very thing that is an enemy of God, an enemy of this world. God said those that choose the world over him and choose the things of the world over him becomes his enemy. People will go to any length to have money and to take your money. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. But you know what? I'm so happy that we got over 60 new subscribers within the last 3 days. We're going to get better and better over here. We talked about Tim today. We talked about Wendy. We talked about Eric Murdoch. If you guys haven't heard about Eric Murdoch, just Google him. Also, you can just go on YouTube. There's plenty of stories about Eric Murdoch and his capers. The white man who is privileged. He comes from a very renowned family that's very influential in public. And he chose to take advantage of the situation and kill people for more money, more influence. Okay, folks, I'm going to let you go with that, but thank you for tuning in to Spirituals No Additives. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you can be abreast of all our latest posts. Holla.